Litter box training is one of the most important steps in raising a kitten, and getting it right from the start ensures that your home stays clean and your kitten is comfortable. Although kittens have an instinct to bury their waste, they still need guidance and consistency to learn how to use the litter box properly. Understanding how to introduce your kitten to the litter box and establishing the right routine can prevent accidents and create a lifelong habit. When you bring your kitten home for the first time, it's essential to introduce them to the litter box as soon as possible. Ideally, you should have the litter box set up before your kitten arrives so they can find it easily. Choose a location that is quiet, private, and accessible. Avoid placing the litter box near food or water bowls, as cats prefer to keep their eating and bathroom areas separate. At the same time, make sure the box is in an area where your kitten can get to it without feeling trapped. Kittens, especially in a new environment, can become anxious if they feel cornered or unable to escape. The size of the litter box is also important. A box that is too small will make your kitten uncomfortable, while one that is too large may be intimidating. A simple, shallow box with low sides is perfect for a kitten. They should be able to easily step into it without any trouble. As your kitten grows, you can gradually transition to a larger box. Ensure that the box is also cleaned regularly. A dirty litter box can discourage your kitten from using it, as cats are fastidious animals who prefer clean spaces. When you first introduce your kitten to the litter box, gently place them inside it so they can explore it. If your kitten doesn't immediately understand what to do, don't worry. Most kittens will instinctively start to dig around the litter. You can encourage this behavior by gently scratching at the litter with your fingers to mimic the motion. Kittens may take a little time to figure out what the box is for, but with patience and consistency, they'll soon understand. In the first few days, it's helpful to observe your kitten closely. Watch for signs that they might need to use the litter box, such as sniffing around or circling. If you see these signs, gently place them in the box to encourage them to use it. The more you place your kitten in the litter box after these signals, the faster they'll begin to associate the box with the act of going to the bathroom. If your kitten uses the box, reward them with praise or a small treat to reinforce the behavior. This positive reinforcement is key in helping them develop the habit. Some kittens may have a little trouble learning to use the litter box, especially if they've been separated from their mother too early or have not had much exposure to a litter box before. In these cases, a little extra patience may be required. If your kitten is having accidents outside the box, try not to punish them. Cats don't respond well to punishment, and it can confuse them or make them fearful. Instead, focus on gently redirecting them to the box and rewarding them when they use it correctly. If your kitten seems to avoid the litter box entirely, check a few things. Ensure the box is clean and the location is suitable. Sometimes, a kitten might refuse to use the box if it's too dirty or in an area that feels unsafe. If your kitten is using the box but still having accidents around the house, they may need a second box placed in another area, particularly if your home has multiple levels. Cats often feel more secure with easy access to a litter box at all times, especially as kittens who are still learning their boundaries. Sometimes, kittens might have a preference for a particular type of litter. Experiment with different options to see what your kitten likes best, whether it's clumping or non-clumping, fine grain or coarse grain. The scent of the litter can also play a role, as some cats are more sensitive to strong perfumes or chemicals. A natural, unscented litter might work better for some kittens. Additionally, make sure that the litter is deep enough for your kitten to dig and bury their waste, as this is an instinctual behavior that helps them feel secure. If your kitten is older and has developed bad habits, retraining them is still possible. The process may take a little longer, but consistency and patience will pay off. One option is to restrict their access to the rest of the house temporarily by confining them to a room with the litter box, food, and water. This reduces distractions and gives them fewer places to go outside the box. Gradually, you can reintroduce them to other areas of the house as they start using the box consistently. The litter box should be cleaned regularly to prevent any buildup of waste that can discourage your kitten from using it. Scoop the box at least once or twice a day, removing clumps and waste, and clean the entire box with soap and water every week. Changing the litter entirely every 2 to 3 weeks is also recommended to maintain freshness and odor control. A dirty litter box is one of the most common reasons kittens avoid using it, so maintaining cleanliness is crucial. In the early stages, you may notice your kitten testing boundaries or experimenting with the box. This is a normal part of the learning process. They may step outside the box and seem confused, or they might dig excessively. If your kitten is prone to getting litter everywhere, consider trying a box with higher sides or a hooded litter box to contain the mess. These boxes can help reduce scattering while still allowing your kitten to dig and bury their waste. Kitten litter box training is an essential step in establishing a strong bond with your new pet. It teaches them good habits and ensures that they have a space to feel comfortable and secure while doing their business. While it may take a little time and effort at first, the process is generally straightforward, and with patience, most kittens will adapt quickly. By following these steps, you'll set your kitten up for success, helping them grow into a confident, well-behaved adult cat who knows exactly where to go when nature calls. Litter box training your kitten is an essential step in ensuring that your home remains clean and that your kitten feels comfortable in their new environment. This process may seem overwhelming at first, but with patience and consistency, your kitten will quickly learn to use the litter box without accidents. It's important to understand that kittens instinctively bury their waste, but they still need to be introduced to the litter box and guided through the process. The key is to create a safe, positive experience for your kitten so that they develop the habit of using the box regularly. From the moment you bring your kitten home, it's essential to set up the litter box and introduce them to it right away. The first step is to choose an appropriate spot for the litter box. It should be placed in a quiet, low-traffic area where your kitten can access it easily. Ideally, it should be away from their food and water bowls, as cats are generally fastidious creatures who don't like to have their eating areas near their bathroom. However, the litter box should also be easy for your kitten to find. Don't put the box in a corner that is difficult for them to access, as they might feel trapped or scared. The size of the litter box is another important factor. A box that is too small can make your kitten feel cramped, and they might avoid using it. A box that is too large might seem intimidating, especially to a small kitten. The best choice for a kitten is a shallow box with low sides so that they can easily step in and out of it. You can always increase the size of the box as your kitten grows, but starting with something appropriate for their size will make them feel more comfortable. Once the litter box is in place, you should show your kitten where it is. You can gently place your kitten in the box a few times, especially after meals or playtime, as these are the times when they are most likely to need to go to the bathroom. Kittens generally have a strong instinct to bury their waste, so if you scratch the litter with your fingers to mimic the digging motion, your kitten might be encouraged to try it themselves. If they don't immediately use the box, don't be discouraged. It can take a few tries for them to understand what it's for, but with gentle guidance, they'll soon catch on. It's also important to keep an eye on your kitten's behavior. If they start sniffing around, scratching at the floor, or circling in place, these are signs that they need to use the litter box. If you notice these behaviors, gently pick them up and place them in the box. Be sure to praise them when they use the litter box so that they associate it with positive reinforcement. Offering a treat or a small amount of praise will help solidify the behavior in their mind. There will inevitably be some accidents in the early days of training, but the key is to remain patient and avoid punishing your kitten. Punishment can create fear and confusion, making it more difficult for your kitten to learn what you want them to do. Instead, if an accident occurs, simply clean it up thoroughly with an enzymatic cleaner to remove any lingering scent that might encourage your kitten to return to that spot. If your kitten seems to be consistently having accidents outside the box, try observing them more closely for signs that they need to go. Place them in the box immediately when you see these signs, and reward them when they use it. It's also essential to keep the litter box clean. Kittens, like all cats, are sensitive to odors and may avoid using a dirty litter box. Scoop the litter box at least once or twice a day to remove clumps and waste. The entire box should be cleaned with soap and water weekly, and the litter should be changed entirely every 2 to 3 weeks to keep it fresh. If your kitten refuses to use the box, it may simply be because it's too dirty, so make cleanliness a priority. If your kitten continues to have trouble with the litter box or seems to avoid it altogether, check for any underlying problems. Sometimes, a kitten might refuse to use the litter box if it's in a location they don't feel safe in, or if there is something about the box that makes them uncomfortable. Some kittens are particular about the type of litter used, so experiment with different types to see what your kitten prefers. Some cats prefer fine-grain litter, while others might prefer something coarser. Also, consider using a litter with a neutral or unscented fragrance, as some kittens are sensitive to strong smells. In some cases, kittens may have a preference for a particular type of litter box. Some may feel more comfortable using a covered or hooded box, while others prefer an open box. The decision often depends on your kitten's personality and how they react to the space. If your kitten is easily frightened, a covered box may feel more secure, as it gives them a sense of privacy. However, if your kitten seems hesitant to enter a covered box, try an open one instead. Just remember to keep the box in a quiet area where your kitten can access it easily without feeling trapped. If your kitten is older and you're dealing with a cat who has developed bad litter box habits, retraining is still possible. The key is to be consistent and persistent. One option is to confine your kitten to a smaller area, such as a single room, with food, water, and a litter box. This will help them focus on using the box and reduce the chances of accidents. Gradually, you can increase their access to other areas of the house once they're consistently using the litter box. It may take a bit longer, but with patience, your kitten will learn. Litter box training is a relatively straightforward process, but it requires consistency, patience, and attention to detail. It's important to keep a regular routine and monitor your kitten's behavior so that you can guide them to the litter box when needed. With the right setup, positive reinforcement, and a little patience, your kitten will learn to use the litter box, and you'll have a cleaner, happier home. The process can take time, but in the end, it will be worth the effort as your kitten grows into a well-adjusted and well-trained adult cat.